and welcome to We Are Middlesex. I'm Logan and I'm here to guide you on a road trip through Strathroy Caradoc, right here in Middlesex County. On today's show, Julia meets with Deputy Mayor Brad Richards and Pauline learns about the Belgian truffles at Windale's, coffee at Tojo, live roofs at In Nursery, and Anke Skincare. We end our road trip with Mayor Joanne Vanderheden making puffages with John Paul at Hartnett Grove Farm. So let's go.
Hello and welcome to the Strathroy Caradoc Museum. I'm here with Deputy Mayor Brad Richards. Hello.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good, thank you. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your community and where Strathroy Caradoc is located in regards to Middlesex County.
Sure. We're about 40 kilometers west of London, and we have many accesses off the 402 highway.
I was also wondering if you could tell our viewers what services are offered to the Strathroy Caradoc residents.
Sure. We have many amenities and opportunities for residents in our community that make our life full, healthy, and happy. And that provides a great opportunity for life and raise a family.
I was wondering if you could tell our viewers about what services could also attract new immigrants to Strathroy Caradoc. Sure,
we have lots of great services. There's plenty in the healthcare area. First off, we have a world-class hospital. And we also have many fine physicians in our area, plus many dentists, chiropractors, many healthcare providers. On the education side, we have a great working relationship with the Thames Valley School Board, which has many schools here in Strathroy. The London District Catholic School Board, which is also represented. And we have a few alternative ones like a community Christian school and an adult learning school. Post-education, we have great contacts and very close vicinities to Western University, Fanshawe College, Westervelt College, and Lempton College. So great education opportunities in the area all over.
Thank you very much, Brad Richards, for being here with us today in Strathroy Caradoc.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks, Mae, for inviting us to Windale Chocolates.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Such a cute little store. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about Windale's Chocolates and how you got into it.
Well, I started my chocolate business 5 years ago, and I started as a mobile shopping boutique where I took the chocolate to other locations around different cities and different counties. It connected with different local shops as well as selling to local shops wholesale. And then I decided I wanted to expand into a new space that was larger, where I could also bring in my local connections. I had owned a chocolate shop in the past, and I had also traveled and lived in Belgium for 5 years with my husband. So I decided that I wanted to bring all those elements together and to create a chocolate shop with a twist. So we are a chocolate shop and a market. We have over 20 other different local artisans and vendors in our shop. Everything from local caramels to local sweets for your dog, to arts and crafts, to artisans, local honey and maple syrups. And besides the chocolate, we also have a bistro on site with hot drinks and cold drinks and desserts you can enjoy on our patio. And we also run all sorts of special events, including blues nights and patio nights and ladies nights and that sort of thing.
So you really go for keeping it local?
I do, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, why Middlesex County? Why choose that?
I have a past here, so I did live and work here for a number of years. Raised my young daughters when they were here, and I had a small home-based business to start with. And then when we moved to Belgium and I came back, I ended up working here for Columbia Sportswear as the retail marketing manager for Canada for 5 years.
So you knew the area really well?
Yeah, and I had a lot of local connections. Family lives here, and I knew just how local shoppers were in this community and how much they support local. So this is one of the very key reasons why we moved here.
What are some of the challenges of starting a business in Middlesex? Were there any challenges, or did you find it?
I found it actually much easier than starting a business in, say, a larger urban center like London. I found that the community spirit and the local services were so invested in you being successful that they were very forthcoming with any information prior to you making any decisions and helped with the decision-making process along the way. So I found it actually much easier to start in a smaller local community than I did in a large urban center where you're lost in the shuffle and you're just one of many.
So moving to Middlesex County was a great move for you, it was a positive move, and would you you would suggest that and recommend that to anybody else?
I would do it again in a minute myself. I would open another business here in a minute.
Awesome.
And for anyone coming into Middlesex County, I would recommend speaking to the local businesses first, taking advantage of all the local services that are available, talking to all the parties that you need to be involved, from town hall to the BIA, and you've got a wonderful mix of information. Make sure you have a good business plan, follow it. And the other key note I would make is that in a small community, that if you diversify, you're going to be much more successful than walking in with one simple single product. If you diversify yourself like we have, you're going to be have much more of an opportunity to become successful.
Well, thank you so much, May, for having us in Windale's Chocolates. I think it's great that you're keeping everything local. But there's one last question. Can we go and eat some chocolate now?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
I'm here in Membridges at Tojo Coffee to hear what Joe's story is and to find out about what Tojo Coffee is all about. So here we are at Tojo Coffee in Membridges, and I'm enjoying a lovely cup of coffee with Joe, the owner. So Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, my name is Joe Ornato. I'm from the Mount Bridges area, but only the last 6 years, believe it or not. I was a London born and raised. I was a banker and a mortgage broker to start my career for many years, 15 to 20 years in total, until we moved out to this fabulous 1-acre little family farm here in Mount Bridges, which allowed us to live off our land a little bit more, take care of our aging parents, and just live a little bit more peaceful and lives in tune with our values. While doing that, I gave up my business in banking and started working with my hands. 5 years went by and I got the opportunity to go on a coffee roasting journey, and I was hooked at that point. Now, mind you, I grew up with my baby bottle filled with espresso coffee. So coffee's always been in my blood, but when I saw how the roasting process happened, I knew that I could create a craft that was high quality, that would just blow people's minds.
So I'm taking that espresso comes from, is it Italy?
Yeah, Italian background. My wife's side is Portuguese, so espresso is definitely just ingrained in the culture in Europe. Mind you, they mass produce it over there now too, so there are different qualities of espresso, but yes, espresso is where kind of the passion for coffee started.
Now I'm looking around your store here and they've got lots of beans. Where do your beans come from?
Yeah, well, green coffee comes from a coffee belt in the world close to the equator, everywhere from Latin America, wrapping around to Africa and all the way to Indonesia. But what I do is I source my beans through a quality supplier out of Vancouver, Washington in the United States, where they are tied closely to the cooperatives where the coffee comes from. Everything is traceable, but the one thing I love about it is the high quality that I get coming out of there, for moisture content, for how fresh the beans are after harvest. So that's where my coffee comes from.
Now, what makes your coffee different from everybody else's? Like, is it the way you filter it? Is it the way you roast it? Is it the way you deliver it?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not here to knock anybody else's craft, because I do enjoy everybody's craft. I love going to other coffee roasters in different areas and enjoying it. But what I try to do is pay attention to little details that I have found made a difference. Everything from a high quality grinder to filtered water to the right temperature of the water to how fresh it is after the roasting date. To how it's stored, to humidity conditions. I just try to pay attention to all of those little things. Now, some people might call me a coffee snob, and I always say to them, hey, I can tell you everything I know, but if it tastes good to you, what you produce, then I can't tell you that you're wrong. So I do believe that you should always taste coffee that you like, and if it happens to be mine, great. If it happens to be somebody else's, great. But just know why you're liking what you like and why you're choosing what you choose.
Now, you've chosen Middlesex County. What made you move here to set this company up?
Yeah, believe it or not, my wife's side of her family grew up here in the late 70s, early 80s before they moved back to Portugal for a bit and then came back to Canada and then landed in London. So they had some roots here, but what motivated us was actually finding a property where we could have a dual family residence. And it just happened to be in Mount Bridges with a small farm zoning on this particular property. But not knowing that, thank God we got lucky moving to Middlesex, because the area is just absolutely amazing. The people are welcoming. They're very loyal when they find out that you're true to your values and what you're trying to do for them and the area and the environment. Even bureaucratically at City Hall, everybody's just so pleasant to deal with.
So you would encourage anybody else that was looking to maybe start up a business in Middlesex County to pursue that?
Absolutely. That's the beauty, is you can actually talk to people around here. You can go, and if you have good intentions and a well thought out plan, I believe Middlesex County helps you get to where you want to go, or at least guide you in the right direction.
So where can people find your coffee?
Yeah, so number one is I have an online store at ojocoffee.com. I do deliver by donkey to people's houses. I'm kidding. All right. It's actually a
We'll
Toyota.
be watching out for that.
But I do deliver personally to people's houses. I kind of looked at the old milkman model and I said, hey, I can do that in the area. But also at Lobo's Place in Strathroy, at the family table in Strathroy, the Cranberry Market right here in Mount Bridges. They've got a great following for my coffee at Cranberry Market. And then
the farmers market in Strathroy?
Yeah, farmers market in Strathroy. Sorry, we just started. And my son and I operate a mobile cafe, and we do all pour over coffee just like you enjoyed today, and we do have the fresh beans for sale. Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks very much. I think my coffee's out, so I need another one to keep going for the morning, but thanks very much for talking with us.
Thank you.
Great.
Appreciate it.
Great. So I'm with Angela Rust of Anke Skincare Products. Welcome to the show, Angela.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into skincare.
Yeah, it's really cool. My parents are both from Europe. My mother was born in Ernsthausen, Yugoslavia, which is now Serbia. My father was from West Berlin. He took an agricultural course there and worked and apprenticed on a farm, and then they both moved to Canada and met in Toronto at Marvell Hairdressing School. So they're both hairdressers. Moved to a farm, 100 acres outside of Toronto, north about 2 hours, and that's where I was raised. So we did organic homesteading. We had livestock, 3/4 acre garden. At one point he boasted 52 different varieties of herbs. My father was really much into traditional healing, using medicine from plants that the earth supplies for us. Being a hairdresser, then it worked with skin care, hair care. I became a hairdresser. So a lot of the background for me is my background in what I was taught. The recipe for my formula stems from the herbs that I'm growing myself. It's a homemade base done right from scratch, totally chemical and alcohol free. The recipe for processing it comes from my grandmother from Yugoslavia for how we did our canning and preserving to assure that the product has a long shelf life and that it's very stable.
So you started at a very early age.
I did. I was with my dad all the time. We had no brothers. I was the tomboy of the family, and everywhere that he went, I was right beside him. If we were walking in the bush and we got stung by a bee, he showed us the plant that we needed to fix that. If we had a bad cough, he took us to the field where the mullein was growing, came back, we made a tea and drank it, and it fixed our cough. So a lot of it was passed down from the ages, I guess.
So tell us a little bit about your products. What kind of products do you have?
I have a skin moisturizing line, a body lotion, and they're basically all oils and creams. I have bath salts that are healing. I have organic toothpaste. I have really great lip balms. All of them are geared that they're skin moisturizers with the extra benefit to heal other issues. So working with pain issues, working with skin issues, working with natural forms for healing headaches or sinus conditions, eczema, psoriasis, acne, pretty well almost anything that people have come to me with. I've been able to fortunately come up with a formula that has helped them, and in many cases actually fix the condition totally.
Now I get really sort of sore, cracked hands in the winter because you know you're in the water. What product would you recommend for that?
My Anke Skin is amazing for that. So the Anke Skin, the whole procedure for all of these, a very small amount goes a long way. They're fragrance free. If you're using it and you're putting it on your skin, so if you're using it as a hand cream, especially if you're in with those washing your hands a lot and those sanitizers that have a lot of alcohol, that much does my whole face. It cleared up my acne. This is what I use every day as my natural skin moisturizer from head to toe. It works on cracked heels, it works on scars, stretch marks, burns, bug bite reactions. So now because we're in the summer with the mosquitoes, kids come in and grab it and put it on, and instantly it's soothing. Totally
really
absorbs and soaks into the skin as well, that even though it is an oil base, it doesn't stay oily or greasy. Mechanics can use it. Field workers can use it when they're working with equipment. Yeah, it's
Great.
It's awesome stuff.
Yeah, I've
A
got
little
some-
bit of magic in every jar.
Absolutely, absolutely. So where can people find your products?
I am online. I have a website. It's www.ankehealing.com. I have 13 retail locations, sort of in basically all of southwestern Ontario. It's at Windale's Chocolates locally.
And then that's in Strathroy?
It's in Strathroy.
Yep.
It's at Guardian Pharmacy in Exeter. It's at Mount Bridges in Local and Lovely Unique Boutique. And then it varies off into London area and up north towards Walkerton, Owen Sound, Durham, Meaford. So it's hitting a wide area. I do a lot of mail orders, and there's more stores contacting me to be online with it.
Great, and are you on Facebook?
I am on Facebook.
Great.
It's Anke Healing, because all of these products, I want it to have geared that even though it is an all-natural moisturizer at the base, there's a little bit of magic in each container that affords some sort of relief or healing and benefits more than just a moisturizer.
Thank you so much, Angela. This is really great, and I know I'm going to get some of that cream for my hands.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We're here in beautiful Mount Bridges at Hillen Nursery talking to Ellie and Pete Hillen. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you got into the nursery business.
Okay, well, Pete and I both grew up in Holland, and my dad had a nursery, and we both met at Hort School, and I think right from the start we knew that we wanted to start our own business, so that's basically how we started it in Holland. And then in 1982 we came to Canada. The year before we kind of went over here to explore a little bit, and some of our colleagues in the nursery business advised us to come. There was lots of room in Canada to grow plants. So we talked about it, and it's like, let's go for it. August 28th, 1982, and the first night it froze. And we go, freezing in August, it can freeze in June, like where did we move to? But we never looked back, and it's been great here.
So Peter, what makes Hillen Nursery Hillen Nursery? What products do you sell or do you have here at the nursery?
Well, we have a wholesale nursery, which basically means we sell to garden centers, to landscapers, the wholesale trade, and grow plant material right from the cutting, the seed, grow it for a period between 2 and 7 years till the product is saleable, and then ship it to our customers. And it gets used, majority gets used in landscaping, garden centers.
So when did you start this business up, Hillen Nurseries?
When we came in '82, we rented a property in Lucan because we first wanted to find out what was the best location for a nursery. And after about a year, we knew that we wanted to live on Highway 81.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because in the 80s, there was 7 nurseries in Strathroy. And it takes quite a few years to get your name out there and for people to find the nursery and to find your product. Yeah. So that's why for a whole summer, every Sunday, we would drive up and down Highway 81 to see if there was something for sale.
Because of the traffic?
Yep, and because people would come off the 402 and go to Strathroy to visit the other nurseries. So that's why we kind of wanted to be on 81.
And what about, I've heard about the live roof. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, let's start with green roofs first. Okay. Like it started, the trend started about 15 years ago, slowly. And in the first 5 years really took a long time. So about 10 years ago, we made the decision to start with live roof. So which is basically a system, a tray system that is designed by a gentleman with a nursery out of Michigan. And we have an agreement with him that we take on the Ontario market for the purpose of getting green roofs established in anywhere in Ontario, but the majority of the market is in Toronto.
So why would somebody want a green or the live roof? Why would somebody want a green roof?
Oh, there's lots of reasons. There can be lots of reasons. Okay, there is number one reason is stormwater management, because if it rains and let's say the first inch of water that falls, instead of going into the storm sewer, it will be absorbed in a layer of soil and will be held there till the plants absorb it and evaporate that moisture. Okay. Now, at the same time, by evaporating that moisture, it will give a cooling effect as well to the buildings, and it's amazing how much effect it has. People don't realize how much heat it can draw out of a building, you know, without going for air conditioning and stuff like that.
So Ellie and Peter, you've lived here a long time in Middlesex County, specifically in Strathroy Caradoc. So what would you recommend, or you know, why would somebody want to move here that is sort of going to start up a business or settle here, maybe a newcomer to Canada, you know?
Okay, well, this area specifically is, it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in. We're in the hort agricultural business, but within 500-600 kilometer radius, you've got 100 million potential customers. So it's for the US market, Toronto, like it's all very close. Furthermore, if you go out in the country, it's beautiful scenery. We're very close to beautiful lakes, awesome provincial parks. Like the sand is perfect, like for our industry. And with the heat units, like there is a lot of heat in the summer, so a lot of crops will do very well in this area. And it's a phenomenal place to live. If you have little kids, there's lots of little things to do. You have the small town.
There seems to be a sense of community.
Yes, yes. Okay. And if you want the big city, all you do is go 15 minutes to London, or 2 hours, an hour and a half, and you're in Toronto. So.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining us on We Are Middlesex, and I'm excited about looking around your nursery and see what's going on here.
Hi, I'm Joanne Vanderheyden, Mayor of Strathroy Caradoc, and I'm here today as part of We Are Middlesex. And I'm here at Hartnett Grove with the owner, John Pohl. Thank you for having us, John. We're really happy to be here. Can you tell me a little bit about what started you in the business here, and then what you offer local farmers as you start cooking here?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, I want to say thanks for coming out on such a hot day. And Hartnett Grove started, we used to be apple growers, as a matter of fact, and we noticed that there was a need for a reflective mulch, which is like a plastic you put on the ground and it reflects light back up into the tree canopy. And what that does is it gives apples a better color, and when you have a better color, you have a higher quality apple and you get more dollars at the end. So when this was a booming area for apples, we sold a lot of that plastic. But as Hartnett Grove expanded, and we found out there was a big market for not only the reflective plastic, but other plastics, we got into the plastic world for plastic mulch to grow watermelons that we can grow here better at the Gubbles place, or flowers at Hillens, things like that. So we started getting into that plastic. And then we found out we should get into degradable plastic, because we want to eliminate some of the plastic that's going into landfills. So when the plastic and the irrigation world started to dominate our time, we got out of the apples and we concentrated on that industry.
So basically you took a need, made a product, and you've made that product grow in a very green way in order to help all the local farmers around here. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
What are you doing here? What are we making?
So today what we're doing is, this is a nice little Dutch treat. This is puffertjes.
Did you know that I'm Dutch?
I didn't.
There you go.
Especially with your last name, I should have known.
I married that one.
Yeah, okay. And yeah, so this is a nice special Dutch treat that we give kids, usually kids, but the kid in all of us. and we're just gonna, it's just a nice appetizer that we can have. And a lot of people would have something like this with a nice meal and for a special occasion, such as Tuesday afternoon.
Tuesday afternoon in the heat at Hartnett Grove.
Yes.
I've seen this grill before, but in a smaller version. Why is this one so big?
Well, my brother and I purchased this one so we could do special occasions at the Dutch Club. And so the Dutch Club will give us a call and we'll make puffages in bulk so everyone can celebrate the enjoyment of puffages.
That's awesome. We're going to be able to try these in a little bit because I really have kid at heart here as well. So,
truly.
Okay, so what kind of ingredients are there? They're kind of like a little pancake by the looks of things.
Yes, they're similar to what we would know as a dollar pancake, but these ones here are, there's buckwheat flour and a couple of really special Dutch secret ingredients that we just can't tell everybody because then everyone will be making them.
There you go.
Yes, and they taste fantastic. There's a little bit of anise in there for a little bit of flavor and some buckwheat flour. And yeah.
I saw that you had some packages here, so can you actually buy these in packages so you don't have to think of all the ingredients?
Well, truly. At the Dutch store, you can buy a puffages mix and you just mix it with ingredients that you have in your house.
Like oil and water and such.
Oil, water, eggs. And let it sit for a little while, and then you can make puffages at home.
And Strathroy Caradoc actually has a Dutch store too, so this works in really, really well. Well, I want to thank you very much for having us here, and I really think it's amazing that you took a product that you saw a need for, you made that product work for the need, and you've expanded it. So I'm really happy that you're in Strathroy Caradoc, and we really appreciate that the work that you do to support other local farmers. Thank you so very much for having us.
You bet, and thank you for making South, this area, a wonderful place in which to have a business and grow and have a great family.
Awesome, and we can do this in Dutch. Thank you for your gezelligheid.
Dank u wel.
And eet smakelijk.
Smakelijk eet.
Here we go with our little Dutch flag, and we're going to try these puffertjes with a little bit of sugar. Eet smakelijk.
Smakelijk eet.
Mm.
Huh, that was so cool. Who knew there's so much to experience in Strathroy Caradoc? I hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out all these awesome places next time you venture over to Strathroy Caradoc. I'm Logan. It was a pleasure being your guide today.